Hey, good afternoon, Mogul Chix. It is I, your fearless leader, Adrian Van. I have not done a live in a long time, of course. Obviously, I've been busy with other things, but I had some things on my mind lately that I wanted to get off of my chest, off of my mind, that I wanted to share with you guys. And I don't even know where to start. The title of this video, as you can see, is "Be Aware, but Don't Be Distracted." And I speak from which I know. A lot has been going on lately. You guys know, back in, I think, the beginning of the year or a little after the beginning of the year, the whole Me Too thing had been resurrected, and you had all of these Hollywood people who were getting called out for assault and sexual abuse and blah, 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 and all that other stuff. And it shook a lot of people up. And over the last couple of weeks, we've been kind of thrown back into that loop again with the constant 24/7 media attention and the fights back and forth in Congress and the person in the White House, I won't say his name, and this soon to be confirmed, if he's not already confirmed, judge regarding sexual abuse allegations or sexual assault allegations. Well, I usually try to do a good job of staying off of social media, and you guys usually know that when I listen to the TV during the day, I usually have it on something like CNBC or Bloomberg, something business related. And I don't know, the last couple of weeks, I've just been focused on this whole, will he get confirmed? Will he not get confirmed? And is he guilty? Is he not guilty? And what she's going through, what everyone's going through. Well, it triggered a lot of things for me. And I'm not usually one to, okay, yeah, I do sometimes. I was going to say, I'm not usually going to come onto social media and vent and tell all my business, but I came on last Sunday and I just exploded on social media. Now I know you probably are thinking, well, what the hell does this have to do with business? And Mogul Chix is about business. So I'm going to tell you what that's about. So this is where all of this kind of intersected with my personal life and my business life and social media life and all this other stuff. And I usually try to keep all of them pretty fluent, barely intersecting with each other, but not pushing the other part of me away. I try to give you 360, Adrian. You guys know me. So Sunday I woke up and I had an inbox full of requests from women, people that I know, saying, hey, we're going black. You know, we're going to black out our social media for 24 hours. Da, 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 da. Well, I don't know how or why, but it sparked something in me. And I'd already started feeling some kind of way because unless you've gone through it, you don't understand. But it really had been affecting my work. It had been affecting my mood. It had been affecting everything that I've been doing and my personal life. And I'm looking through these DMs and I'm like, oh, hell no. I'm like, I have a voice and I'm going to have my voice out MF loud and motherfucking loud. Da, da, da. And I went onto my page, my personal page, and I just blasted. I just went off. And I didn't do it to diminish or insult the women, but I had a visceral reaction to it. And I felt like I was at a boiling point. And I felt like I had to say something. And I had to just purge and get it off my chest. Well, I did that, and some people commented, some people understood, some people, one person laughed. I guess she thought I was, they'd never seen me that way or whatever. I really don't care what the reason is. She laughed or whatever. And I got a phone call. And the phone call was from my other half. And he was immediately like, hey, you can't do that. You have to take that down. You got business people that you do business with on there. There's over 700 people on your Facebook. And at that point, it wasn't a matter of me worrying about who saw what I wrote. I felt like here were people saying, be silent. Here were the people who were trying to keep someone silent. And now here I was getting shushed, on my own page. And I'm not going to get into details, but it escalated it into this big fight. And later on, I thought about it, ended up taking it down. I did comment on other people's posts and say, hey, you know what? I had a reaction, I had a post, I took it down, whatever, but I did apologize. And it didn't end. The turmoil kind of boiled over and bubbled over. I shut down for a couple of days. I know you guys saw me posted on social media, like sporadically or whatever, but I really had to stop and think about it and catch myself because when you go through stuff, you have to get to a point where you have to deal with it and move on in a healthy way. And I let all of this recently interfere with my business, with Mobile Chix, with my real estate business, with everything. I just kind of shut it down. There's a way that you can be aware and be active and be supportive and not get distracted or consumed by it. And a lot of times I'm good with that. I'm good with that balance. I can, separate the personal from the professional. I can separate, and be empathetic to people if I haven't been in their shoes. This happened to be something that I was in those shoes. So it was a little harder for me to say, I'm going to be objective. I just kind of exploded and lost my cool on that. And I had other things, my aunt recently, those of you who do know me personally, my aunt is very sick. She's in the hospital. And I had just other things going on in my world that it was just like everything colliding at one time. And I think I can say, honestly, I spoke to a friend of mine, Jay Stone, I love you. And thank you for being my friend and talking you down yesterday. But she said, you had a breakdown. That's what that was. And I'm like, yeah, I had a breakdown. That's exactly what it was. And that's what happens when you don't set clear boundaries with things and you let your everything intersect with one another, and eventually something's going to explode. And that's what happened with me. And as a businesswoman, I pride myself on being able to keep my personal separated and not let my feelings or emotions get in. I'm emotional right now. We're in an emotional time. It's what it is. I'm not excusing it. I'm not condoning it. And I'm not apologizing for it. And neither should you. So I wanted to kind of share some things with you if you're going through what I'm going through. And I've read a lot of you guys' posts. And, one thing I think really contributed, kind of lit the fuse for me was, I don't know if you guys saw that why I didn't report it hashtag on Twitter. I spent an entire night reading through it. People who are my peers, my contemporaries, people who are higher levels than me, all sharing stories. And being able to see myself in some of those stories, being able to empathize, being able to sympathize. And it just, yeah. So what I want to share with you guys is this. It is perfectly okay to have your demons. It is perfectly okay to go through whatever it is you're going through. If we're going to be Mogul Chix, we have to figure out a way to balance it all and deal with it all and not be able to tarnish our brands. Now, I don't think I've tarnished the Mogul Chick brand. I'm very outspoken. You guys know I speak out on a whole lot of stuff, and I'm not one to be quiet. But I think right now I'm kind of in a reflection pattern. And I'm kind of taking a step back from a lot of things. I'm still working, but there's certain things I'm kind of pulling back from so that I can just be kind of insular and alone to deal with it and process and get work done. So if I fall off the grid, fall off the map, that's all that is. I'm not going anywhere. Those of you who know me, email or text me. You can always text me to check on me. I prefer text. Right now, phone calls, I would appreciate phone calls, business phone call. That's it. That's all I have the capacity for right now. But, if you don't hear from me, text. Mogul Chix is still going. The brand is still going. It's not going to stop. It's not going to sleep. But I just wanted to make sure that I kind of put it out there, what's going on with me. I know I haven't been my usual self with everyone, but I'm good. I'm good. So back to what I was saying about, okay, so you can be aware. Here's my tip number one. You can be aware of what's going on in the world. It's up to you to decide, does my brand have a voice in this issue? And if you do, you have to figure out what message you want to craft around that voice and around that brand. You can be as supportive or non-supportive as you want to be, but find other ways to encourage other people or support other causes. That will go a long way. And that way you don't have to burden reliving whatever it is that you're dealing with and the responsibility of being that platform or that voice. I always tell people I want Mogul Chix to be a platform where, yeah, we're building women's companies and getting them scaled and grow them and create investors and equity with capital and all of that stuff. But deep down on, when you come down to it, we're women. So yeah, there are going to be a lot of women's causes and a lot of women's issues that Mogul Chix absolutely does support. I just have to decide and determine, and just like you do, at what level. Tip number 2, it's okay to take some time. It's okay to break down. We all go through it every now and then. I've gone through it. I've had a hell of a life. One day I would love to have my story told in its entirety, but it's a vanity project. But anyway, it's okay to break down and say, hey, time out. I need some time and space to myself. Nobody's going to judge you for it. And if you have your systems and process and team in place, you can afford to do that. You can take that time and be, say, hey, I got to step back for a little bit. So what I want you to do is focus on how you can manage through your pain and issues and solve it while still being able to be that boss diva Mogul Chix that you always are. Don't let it consume you, and don't push it away so far or so much that you end up breaking down. I know what that feels like. Tip number 3, don't get distracted. Because if you're running a company and you're responsible for other people's livelihoods, they depend on you, well, to a certain extent. But you have to make sure that you don't shut down. Like for me, when I went through all of this, I just shut it all down. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to read anything. I didn't want to, nothing. So don't allow yourself to get distracted. You have to be able to say, okay, I have this issue. I'm going to deal with this issue, but you can segment it. You can not put it away. Don't forget about it. I'm not telling you that, but keep your focus. Find things that in your business, within your business, that will keep your focus going and keep you on your end goal. And what I found was helpful for me is I had to break out my notebooks. As you guys know, I have all these notebooks and stuff and little notepads and all this other stuff. And I was flipping through and found all these notes I wrote about Mogul Chix and the brand and what I want for it to be in the future and what I hope for it to be, now and as it grows, and kind of watching it and looking at it from when I launched in 2016 until now and the evolution of it. And it helped me to remember my why. It helped me to remember what my goals were. And it helped a little bit. It did. And it put me back on my focus, and I was no longer as distracted as I was. What are we at? Tip number 4, find someone that you can talk to. Now, you may feel it may be a therapist or a business associate or a partner, spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, sister, whoever. Find that one person that will listen objectively, hear you out, and then say, okay, what are we going to do about it? It's time to fix it. Let's fix the problem. That may not always be a good idea for it to be a partner, because sometimes they probably won't understand, or they may say they understand, but they really don't get it. But find someone who's truly impartial, who is not emotionally tied to your emotions, or emotionally tied to you. Jay Stone, I'm going to say it again, called you out, Miss Thing. She's excellent at that. She's so great at that. And it was so cool to sit and talk with her yesterday. And, we talked, we shared, and she helped me a lot. She really did. Even though I had already a couple of days ago decided, okay, I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to put this past me. She kind of really settled me yesterday. So find that person, that one person. No, don't call Jay Stone and don't call me. Well, no, well, unless you know me, you know what I mean. But find your Jay Stone, find your one person that you can confide in, that that, you can say whatever to. Tip number, what are we at? 5, 6, what the next tip? How about that? Take a moment, take a day and just do nothing. Just be. Just breathe. There's nothing wrong with that. And as boss, as the CEO, as the president, as the founder, as the leader of your company, there are going to be many days where you need to take a day. this is where having a proper team comes into great play for you, because if you have a team in place that can handle things for you, you say, hey, I need a day, and operations will keep on running. So if you think you're not ready for a team, you need to talk to me, because I told you guys before, staffing planning and all that other stuff, I can help you build a team. But I digress. But yeah, take a day, take a breath, take a deep breath, and deal with it. And then finally, this is what I had to learn. Turn the damn TV, the radio, social media, the news, turn it off. Turn it off. I love to watch educational shows like business stuff, CNBC. I like to watch shows like Shark Tank, Get Profit, all these other, home building shows, educational things for me. And I kind of lost that, because I started getting so pulled in, so sucked into this confirmation hearings and these abuse allegations or whatever, that I let go of my joy. I really didn't focus on the stuff that I wanted to focus on. So I took a day, I turned off my TV and ended up watching on demand or in some videos and stuff. No news whatsoever. So in social media, I kept it to a minimum. I turned it off and I only did my business social media. So those are things that you can do to deal with it. I know ladies, we are going through a rough time right now. I want to tell you, it'll get better. It can get better. We can make it better. I can't promise you anything, but what I can say and what I can promise is that if I have helped anybody to be able to deal with things a little bit better in this video, then I've done my job. But I promise that, the Adrienne that yeah, she's still here. I'm not going nowhere. I'm still going to be kicking ass. I'm still going to be doing my thing. I'm still going to be, what's she going to be next? That person that everybody watches. That's always going to be me. I stumbled a little bit. I'm good. I'm good. And I hope you guys are good too. So I've gone on long enough because I have text messages and stuff, people coming in. And I need to take these. But I hope I see you guys in Vegas in March. If you guys have read, I know you read, I've been posting it all over the place about the strategy retreat. That's going to be March 8th to the 10th. I'm renting a big house, and we're going to be just working on your businesses. We're going to be creating empires. So I hope you come out and join. Go to mogulchix.com/retreat. You can learn all about it there. I haven't put up the itinerary yet. That's coming soon, but get out there and register for that. And those of you who I will see on the 25th for Mogul Chix Academy, hope you're ready. Those of you who have gone to Mogul Chix Academy, make sure you let them know what to expect. And the other thing is, funding school is coming up. You got to learn about funding, and then you can get funded. So stay tuned for that. That launches in November. So I will see you guys. Hopefully I'll talk to some of you on Monday morning, 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. or whatever, depending on what your time zone is. But I will talk to you guys on Monday or the Power Hour. And the rest of you, any questions, drop a comment in the box down below or send me an email, Adrienne@mogulchix.com. And I will see you then. Take care, everybody. Bye.